One, in this video we will discuss about the bioavailability enhancement technique. Before we have to start the topic, initially we have to see what is the bioavailability. Bioavailability term defined as the rate and extent, the time and the total amount of drug they reach to the systemic circulation, that is we can call as a bioavailability. Why bioavailability is important? Because therapeutic effectiveness of the drug is depend upon the bioavailability, and the bioavailability of the drug is directly correlated with the solubility. So it is the one of the important parameter to achieve desired concentration of drug in the systemic circulation. If the low decrease the aqueous solubility or poor the aqueous solubility is a major problem in the pharmaceutical part or the formulation related part. For the absorption of any drug, it must be present in the form of solution at the site of absorption. Next one, the cause. What are the reasons of the poor or low bioavailability? So, first of all, a poor aqueous solubility, or we can call the poor or slow resolution rate in the biological fluid or in the absorption side. This is the main reasons. Other than that, poor permeability through the membrane. Next, the first pass metabolism effect also affect into the bioavailability. Insufficient time for absorption in the GI tract, so it also affect the bioavailability problems. Next, which are the approaches that used to overcome the bioavailability problem? So here there are three main approaches that apply to counter the bioavailability problems. The first one, that is pharmaceutical, second one pharmacokinetic, and third one biological. In pharmaceutical approach, it involves the modification of formulation. We can go for the modifications in the formulation part, change in the formula. Manufacturing process, we can go for the modification, or we can go for the physicochemical properties of the drug without changing the chemical structure. In pharmacokinetic parts, we can go for the modification of chemical structures. We alter in the chemical structures and we can solve that biological problems. Here the examples, we can add the functional group which is more soluble in aqueous field. Otherwise we can go for the prodrug type designs. The next one, third one, that is biological part. The main things in that we can change the route of administrations, although we can solve out the bioavailability problems. Next one, enhancement of bioavailability. So we can go for the improvement or enhancement of bioavailability. Generally we can go for these four approaches to improve it. The first one, that is enhancement of drug solubility or dissolution rate. That is the main parameter for the bioavailability improvement. We can increase the solubility and increase the dissolution rate. We can improve the bioavailability. Other than that, enhancement of drug permeability, enhancement of drug stability, and enhancement of GI retention. So these four approach we can use for the enhancement of bioavailability. We can go for one by one. First one, that is enhancement of solubility. So in that part, first one, that is physical modifications. We can go for the physical or chemical modifications to improve the solubility. So in physical modification, first, that is particle size reduction. We go for the particle size reductions, we can improve the solubility part. So one by one we have to see it. The first one, in that micronization. So micronization is also called micro milling or milling techniques. In that we can see that direct relationship between surface area of the drug and dissolution rate. We reduce the particle size, that increase the surface area. Particle size we can go for the reduction, so it increase the effective surface area, and if we can increase the surface area, it increase the dissolution rate or solubility of that drug. We can go for the reduction particle size up to 1 to 10 micrometers. That micronizations done by the milling techniques, example like fluid energy mill, jet mill, The second one, that is nanonizations. Okay, we go for the micronizations into micron size. In nanonizations, we can go further for the size reductions into nano size. The drug particle is converted into nanoparticles or nanocrystals up to the size of 200 to 600 nanometers, and we can form into the nanosuspension type of dosage forms. The next one, that is supercritical fluid recrystallization. So supercritical fluid technique is also used for this particle size reductions. It is a novel nanosizing or solubilizing technique. Supercritical fluid is a fluid whose temperature and pressure are greater than its critical temperature and critical pressure. Once the drug particles are solubilized within the critical fluid, they may be recrystallized greatly, reduce the particle size up to the submicron size and increase the solubility parts. Next one, that is spray freezing into liquid. So in this technique, it involves atomization of drug solutions directly into the compressed gas. Then the frozen particles are then go for the lyophilizations to obtain free and dry flowing micronized particles, and that go for the improving or increasing the solubility parts. Next, that is evaporate precipitation into aqueous solution. So in this process, it utilizes rapid phase separation to nucleate and grow nano or micro size particles of that drug. And in that case, last one, that is sonocrystallization. So it is another novel approach for the particle size reductions. In this process, the crystallization occur by using the ultrasound. Next one, that modification of crystal habit. Okay, so in that polymorph, pseudopolymorph, like the terminologies are there. So depending upon the internal structure of the solid, okay, if randomly internal structures are there, so we can call as a amorphous, and three-dimensional internal structures are there, so we can go for the called as a crystals. Okay, so depending upon the internal structure of the solid drug, selection of proper form of the drug into that formulation part. So in general, the amorphous forms are more aqueous soluble than the crystal form, and in the crystal form, okay, more than one crystal form, so we can call as a polymorph. So in polymorph, two forms are there, metastable and stable. In that case, metastable form shows higher aqueous solubility than the stable form, because metastable forms have higher energy as compared to stable form. Another one, the hydrates and solvents types. In that, anhydrates forms are more soluble than hydrates, because the hydrates are already interacted with water molecules, already present the water molecules, so their intensity for the penetrating or absorbing the water is less as compared to anhydrates. Okay, next, the drug dispersion in carrier. Okay, in that three parts are there. Eutectic mixture, we can go for the solid dispersion, otherwise we can go for the solid solution. So one by one we have to see what is eutectic mixtures and how they can improve the solubility. So eutectic mixture is a mixture of two or more chemical compound at a composition that has the lowest melting point. It is prepared by fusion method, and eutectic mixture is exposed to water. The soluble carrier dissolves and it leaving the drug into the microcrystalline state, which solubilize rapidly. Second approach is solid dispersion. The dispersion of one or more active ingredients in an inert carrier in a solid state. Okay, in inert carrier we can use example like urea. And solid dispersion prepared by the hot melt method, solvent evaporations or co-precipitations, hot melt extrusion methods, we can go for it and we can prepare the solid dispersion. The next one, that is solid solution. A solid solution is molecularly dispersed in a solid solvent, or we can call solid solution form when two metals are completely soluble in both the state, liquid and solid state. Two components crystallize together in homogeneous one phase systems are called as a solid solution, or we can call molecular solution. And compared to others, the solid solution shows greater aqueous solubility and faster dissolution rate compared to eutectic mixtures and solid dispersions because of the reduction in particle size into up to a molecular level. Next approach that is improvement for the solubility is complexation. Okay. Molecular inclusion or inclusion complex with complexing agent. So inclusion complex are formed by the insertion of the non-polar region of one molecule, otherwise non-polar molecules, into the cavity of another molecules. Means one that is the guest and second one that is host. Okay. In that case, complexing agent widely used cyclodextrin, beta gamma cyclodextrin that is used. The cyclodextrin having the ability to form a molecular inclusion complex. They create the cavity. In that, the poorly water soluble drugs we can go for the insertion. Next one, that is solubilization by the surfactant. In that example, microemulsion, self-emulsifying drug delivery system. So surfactants is used for the absorption enhancer, and it also enhances the dissolution rate as well as permeability of drug. So it's surfactant, it reduces the interfacial tension or lower the interfacial tension and enhance the solubility or dissolution rate by the promoting the wetting and penetration of dissolution fluid into the solid drug particle. Surfactant are generally used in a concentration below the critical concentration value, CMC value. Most widely used surfactant example that is non-ionic surfactant like polysorbate. Next, okay, first one we have to see the physical modification. The second, that is chemical modification. In that, prodrug approach, salt formation, pH adjustment, like that approach we have used. Prodrug, so the conversion of drug into more soluble prodrug. We can convert our drug into the more soluble prodrug like approach, and we can improve the solubility. Salt formation, so in that, salt formation is also used for the enhancement of solubility of drug. Weak acid drug is complex with strong base salt, so we can improve the solubility. If weak basic drugs are there that complex with strong acid salt, also we can improve it. Example for that, sodium and potassium salt for the weak acid drug that dissolves more rapidly as compared to the pure drug. And for that, strong acid salts like hydrochloride, sulfate salts for the weak basic drugs. Change in the pH. Okay, so pH based solubility dependence are there. So if we can go for the pH changes, it also alter the solubility of drug. So for organic solutes that are ionizable at the pH, if changing the pH, ionizations also changes. So changing the pH of the system that increase the aqueous solubility. In that case also we can go for the using the buffer system. So addition of buffer that maintain the pH of solution. So that also we can use for the improvement in the solubility part. Other method or miscellaneous methods are there. In that, co-crystallization. So in that, co-crystal means it defined as crystalline material that consists of two or more molecules had together by non-covalent force. So co-crystallization method we can use for the improvement of solubility. Co-solvency, so we can add third substance like co-solvent that improve the solubility. In the example, propylene glycol, PEG, like that we can use for the co-solvent. Next, hydrotropy, so increase the solubility of drug in aqueous or water due to presence of large amount of additives or second solutes that improve the solubility as compared to the first solute. Next one, that is selective absorption of insoluble carrier. a highly active adsorbent such as bentonite, the inorganic clay like bentonite, can enhance the dissolution rate of poorly water soluble drug. Solvent deposition. In this method, the poorly water soluble drug is dissolved in organic solvent like alcohol and then deposited on a inert hydrophilic solid matrix like starch, and then evaporation of that solvent is done. So that is called the solvent deposition method. It is also used for improvement part. Functional polymer technology. So it enhances the dissolution rate of poorly water soluble drug by avoiding the lattice energy of the drug crystals, which is the main barrier to rapid dissolution in the aqueous media. Next one, that is porous microparticle technology. So that also method used for the improvement of that poorly water soluble drug. In this poorly water soluble drug is embedded in a microparticles which are having a porous structures, so that improve the solubility part. Next, last one in that part, nanotechnology approach. So that is a novel part. Nowadays many more research is going on that part. So nanotechnology approaches are also used for the improvement of that solubility part. In that we can prepare nanocrystal, nanomorphs, nanoparticles. Like that technology, we can go for the particle size reduction and improve the solubility of drug. Second approach, okay, first one we have to see the enhancement of drug solubility or dissolution rate. That is the most important part for the bioavailability improvement. Other one, that is enhancement of drug permeability. So in that three parts are there: lipid technology, ion pairing, and penetration enhancement. So in that first one, lipid technology, in that case we can go for the lipid based formulation preparation. So lipid based formulations we can prepare to improve the bioavailability of that drug. So example for that, we can go for the liposome preparation. So that is lipid based technology. Solid lipid nanoparticles, because the permeability is also the rate limiting step in the drug absorption part, so that we can apply it. Next one, that is ion pairing. So in this approach, it involves the co-administration of hydrophilic drug or polar drug with a suitable lipophilic counter ion. So that is ion pairing. Our hydrophilic or polar drugs, we can go with the selective counter ions like lipophilic natures. And third one, that is penetration enhancer, which improve the permeability of drug. So that facilitate the transport of drug across the cell membrane. So that is called the penetrating enhancer. So that is also used for improving the drug permeability. Next one, the third one, that is enhancement of drug stability. So in that case, we can go for the enteric coating. So guess that retard the release of drug in the stomach. Enteric coating tablet for the example. So we have to protect the drug in the stomach or acidic medium, and that release the drug into that alkaline part. So that go for the stability parts. Complexations. So this technique is used to increase the stability of drug also in the GI tract complex with complexing agent. Use of metabolisms inhibitors, which can selectively inhibit of any of the contributing process, would result in increase the fractional absorption and increase the bioavailability problems or bioavailability. Next one, the last one, that is enhancement of gastrointestinal retention. So it increase the contact with epithelial surface, prolonging the residential time in stomach. So we can go for the gastro-retentive drug delivery systems. So we have to retard or protect or release the drug into that stomach part only. Then we can increase the intestinal transition time or delaying that parts, so that time for that to stay at the intestine and that go for the absorption. So like that approach we can use to enhance the bioavailability. Thank you very much.